Good evening, everybody. It is RPG Limit Break, and we have another amazing Dragon Warrior Randomizer race. It is me, sigmafan, once again, and we have a great elimination match for you tonight. We are now in the bracket stages. The top 32, the best of the best are here, and tonight it is up2ng versus MeleeWizard. Hopefully, RN Jesus blesses them well, and we get great stats all throughout. And joining me in this amazing race is the wonderful, sensational, and beautiful Demarine 2. Demarine, what do you think of our two racers tonight?
Oh, what a good introduction. I think that this is going to be a really interesting matchup. up2ng has definitely been sort of at the top of his game right now. I mean, finishing out 4-1. Looking pretty good across the entirety of the bracket stages, even his loss. And MeleeWizard, who has probably got a bit of an uphill fight ahead of him, came in at 3-2. I believe he's the 29 seed, if I remember correctly, and up2ng is the 4 seed. So this one should be a tough one, but it should be a good one, certainly. I think up2ng probably has a bit of an edge, but we shall certainly see.
Yep, and as we take a look at our starting stats, we're going to have a good amount of strength to start out with. 15 strength, so that means stuff is going to happen to start, hopefully. And we want to give a shout out to our people behind the scenes that are not on mic. We have DarkGrid12, he is on the tracker. And Lord of the Synth is our wonderful restreamer, so round of applause for them, or a round of thank yous on chat. And that's about get ready to set, so sit back, relax, and strap it down. Dragon Warrior Randomizer here on RPG Limit Break.
Yep. It'll be nice to see them being able to get out of the gate with 15 strength. That's going to put a lot of the early enemies right in their sights, up to potentially, 17 hit points. Maybe scorpions are a bit out of reach, but, otherwise things like magicians, most of Zone 1, or most of Zone 0, Magidrakes are all definitely going to be in their sights early on, so they'll be hoping to not get breathed or hurt more by the random abilities on enemies so that they can push their way through.
Right, what's also going to be important is what's in the starting chest, those 3 chests. One of them is going to be a key. It all depends on what the other 2 chests are. If one of them is a wings, then they can save that key and get into the treasury, which can set up stuff, and away we go! So, basically the story is, the King's Guards got lazy, Dragon Lord stole the magic ball, and now somebody's got to retrieve it. Oh, what did I just say about starting off with wings?
Wings and Cash is one of the best starts in the game, certainly, because you get to save the key and then convert it into 6. Oh, there's a town right there, too. This is going to be a fairly smooth start for both of our runners.
up2ng decides to go for the town. Well, scratch that, it's Hawksnest.
That's a quick start. So, Hawks has the search tile in it, which is great. It's right next to home, which is great. But when you've got 600 gold burning a hole in your back pocket, that's not what you wanted to find. You wanted to find Cantlin, or Rimmildar, or Breckenary.
And up2ng is going to do a reset, realize what they did wrong. Meanwhile, MeleeWizard is going to save with the king, and we're going to get some treasury action going.
Yeah, I'm not even, I understand the safety save here, just to kind of do the double check there, in case there's an immediate gold grind, but the town out there was Hawks, which is not what you're really looking for there.
And we got an herb, a cursed belt, that's 1. It's a fairy water. Now, MeleeWizard realizes they screwed up. Well, actually, they were checking the treasury anyway, to see if the gold was there to do a gold grind. Didn't happen, so now what's going to happen is MeleeWizard is going to go get his keys, and check the basement.
Yep, so this has basically been 2 solid minutes of setup for our runners, achieving not much of anything other than grabbing a bunch of keys for themselves.
That is true, but as we saw in the overworld, there is stuff that is killable, like ghosts are in Zone 0, and that's a good 4 experience to start.
Yeah, there should be absolutely no problem getting off the ground here on pretty much anything we find in Zone 0. And the basement is this Vanilla Stones of Sunlight cave. So one chest with the Vanilla Stones of Sunlight.
Hilarious.
And I guess up2ng has decided it's time to start the ghost hunt here, finds the first ghost and the first kill of the run, and MeleeWizard picks up a red slime, and it looks like up2ng is about to give us level 2 right off the bat, as MeleeWizard finds a Magireiki, which I'm pretty sure they're they're not happy.
Oh, they got sleep, that's not good, but 7 power, 2 agility, 3 hit points, 9 magic points, and a new spell. Oh!
Well, we're gonna get off to a flying start. However, you can't fight Magireikis. They've got the Wombo, they've got the sleep and the wreck behind it. So down goes MeleeWizard. While on the flip side of the coin, down goes a Scorpion with all of those stats for up2ng, and that's 31 power. What in the world is this mess? 31, 3, 13, 11. Well, I guess this seed's gonna get flying right away.
Absolutely. Sadly, there's nowhere to heal. And it looks like up2ng found a swamp north.
Game Boy F9 commenting, 53 strength and 14 agility. You don't need to run when you have hurt more and the ability to punch things incredibly hard.
Meanwhile, MeleeWizard got their level. You know, I thought of something. Why not, if you have the MP, which up2ng does, why not just go into Hawk's Nest, throw a few Hurtmores around, and maybe if the Axe Knight's in the tile, take a shot.
Yeah, I absolutely adore that play, and if you die, you go back, like, 11 steps, so what do you care? You know, again, and if it is an Axe Knight, you have enough strength to even back it up with a swing and probably kill it at this point. 22 strength is a little much for ghosts. They don't want any part of it.
No, and up2ng's got 10 more power, 4 more agility, 9 more hit points, and 3 more magic points. The levels are going to come in fast and furious, ladies and gentlemen, and guys, gals, and non-binary pals.
MeleeWizard about to pick up level 31 power. Also 11 MP behind that, by the by, so that's, you know, that puts them up at 4 Hurtmore casts when they die.
up2ng is just going to do some grinding on the outside. Just gonna grind out some Drakeemas until level 5. MeleeWizard is going to see Swamp South, try to get to Swamp South, and be demolished by a Druid.
Yeah, we've got 14 agility. Actually, up2ng now is gonna get up to level 5, 7, 1, 14, and 11. New spell looks like it is Return, but hey, 70 strength at level 5. I'm a little jealous right now.
I think we're all a little jealous about that. Meanwhile, up2ng, well, MeleeWizard's now going into Hawk's Nest, has the Hurtmores, and not able to one-shot the werewolf, but thankfully werewolves have baby breath. Oh, both are going back to start, and it looks like this is just one small island to start.
Yeah, on the flip, of course, up2ng was headed due south. Probably got a little bit of information about the map, but not terribly much. Was it enough to justify just trying to cross Swamp Cave over and over? Potentially. But yeah, he got lit up by the fun police and pulled over to the...
And now both of them are in Hawk's Nest. Wizard is the worst enemy you want to see in here because they are immune to hurt more.
Yeah, and then the wizard just decides that your 19 agility is not enough to get literally anywhere and just hobbles him with the staff, and up2ng gets eliminated from Hawk's Nest, and now MeleeWizard is likely to give us our first look at the tile after Hurtmoring a pair of Wraiths, which will catch up the experience gap real fast.
Yep, and that is level 5. That's an enemy up2ng wants to see as a Wolf Lord.
Armored Knight's not bad to see, but we have no armor, we get ambushed. 56 hit points isn't going to quite do the job.
Now, now we kind of wish the Axe Knight was there. He's got Baby Breath, which helps things out rather nicely. Level 6 is going to be happening for up2ng. We have 2 power, 3 agility, no hit points, 2 magic points, but we do have a spell, and it's a heal spell. That's going to help out a lot later on.
Well, the ability to strike out on the map is certainly there. The ability to consider the Trap Tile and Hawks. Axe Knights will just be a rapid push. It's going to push out 7 right now, and should probably get 8 before he runs out of Hurtmores here. But yeah, the Grind Tile is in Swamp Cave.
Ooh, nice. 5195 for level 7. Okay, that changes the math, because that's heal more.
That grind was looking fantastic right up until it wasn't. But, you know, you take it where you can get it. MeleeWizard tacks on heal at level 6 here.
Well, now I'm looking at level 7. You have 65 hit points. That is going to be enough to tank a one-shot from the Armored Knight. So, to me, looking at that, I think you go.
I mean, you've got to overcome the, what is it? I forget what the hurt resistance is on Armored Knights. Either 2 or 3 out of 16. And you can soak a hit here. You're going to see up2ng. Oh, no. Come on, game. Really? We're going to have a fun ride through Charlock here. While on MeleeWizard's side, he gets a 22 agility dash from a Red Dragon.
You got lucky there, and MeleeWizard is doing more exploring. And looks like up2ng is going to get level 8. 12 more power, 9 more agility, 3 more hit points, 13 more magic points, and a new spell.
Importantly, stop.
Stop. Ooh, stop spell.
Doesn't stick on the Armored Knight though here twice. The Armored Knight's just like, I'm not here to cast spells anyway. I'm here to cram an axe into your skull. But yeah, Charlock has Sleep Werewolves. It's got Sleep AKs. We're gonna have a fun time tonight, I think.
Yeah, if you take a look at the strength already, we have almost enough strength at level 8 to go.
I mean, with Erdrick Sword and the Fighter's Ring, that's 131 attack power at the end of the day. But, you know, 89 is still really good.
You could win on 89.
I've won on less.
But I bet your HP was really, really high, though.
Enough to use the Death Necklace.
That's what did it. Anyway, up2ng, everyone's back in Swamp Cave. I think what's going to happen is along the lines of doing grinding. And I gotta wonder, at 89, wouldn't it be just beneficial to just punch the lights out of these specters? MeleeWizard gets out of Swamp Cave.
Yeah, and we know that most of the game is going to be on the other side of the Swamp Cave here. up2ng has just decided I want level 9 right now. Finds another Hurtmore, lines it up, and finds another Hurtmore target with the Axe Knight. It's going to get to 1,000 experience points plus 2.
4 power, 3 agility, 1 hit point, and 6 magic points. So that's another Hurtmore to add to the bank. And if you take a look at up2ng's stats, strength is green, which means you add that with Erdrick's Sword, you're swinging for, at minimum, 16 against the Dragon Lord. So strength is not going to be an issue in this seed. What's going to be an issue, though, is maybe agility.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how strong you are if you've got to fight your way down the entirety of Charlock Castle, which is an honest, distinct possibility here. If the strength keeps growing, and there's a possibility that it'll just keep going up, we might not have run out of strength. MeleeWizard found Mountain Cave, it looks like, on his side of the map there, so first location on Continent 2.
And it is Mountain Cave. I guess Melee decided, I'm gonna hold off for now and just find Big C, which he has to go around to get through. Level 10 for up2ng, 1 power, 2 speed, 14 hit points, 7 magic points, new spell. We will find out what that is in a little bit, but it is obvious that up2ng just wants to spend a good chunk of his first 15 minutes just grinding on these Axe Knights, and I don't blame him.
Oh, I absolutely adore this play at this point. He does have... The spell was hurt by in the buy. He does now have the ability to probably just walk up and do the trap tile without too much of an issue at 83 hit points, even without a drop of armor. Assuming he does not get slept by the Armored Knight, that might be the only thing keeping him from touching that tile at this point. MeleeWizard, on the other hand, is probably... I don't think he saw the sleep on... Or he might have seen the sleep on the Armored Knights as well, but he is not afraid. Also, he's going to be grinding the zone a little bit.
And up2ng's side, okay, I've had enough time to go. And we're also have baby breath, so he's fine with that. Can punch him for 22.
Yeah, absolutely. So off of a very rare first 5-minute static grind, up2ng has opened up about 1,000-point experience lead. On the flip side of the coin, MeleeWizard has found one location on the second continent, which was the Mountain Cave. He needs to not die to this Armored Knight swing, which he does not, so he should be okay.
He's safe.
We found an ancient relic of Erdrick on the floor.
But it's not the armor. It was a tease. But it is required.
Yeah, I mean, better to get it now than to not get it at all, but, so one search spot out. We know that a second search spot was in play anyhow because we already had seen the Cursed Belt in the treasury, which means that at least one additional search spot is out there, right?
Yep, but this leads to an interesting question. Now do you know what the, well, up2ng knows what the spike spot is. Do you save Gwaelin already? Because it looks like a seed that you kind of have to.
I mean, I don't know, you'd still need to find Cole. You don't have any information yet at this point in time. up2ng, I mean, whether or not he's saving the princess at this point in time, has just decided that the Axe Knight population in Alefgard is just way too high right now.
Yes, help control the Axe Knight population. Have your Dragon Lord spayed and neutered. Good night, everybody.
We're not actually leaving.
That is true, but up2ng is still going to grind on Axe Knights to get to level 11. I find this a little bit insane. He's going to grind all the way up to level 12, it looks like.
You know what, if you never die, if you get hurt, if you get heal more and basically set yourself up to just go from town to town, station to station, and never die on the map, you will win a race. You will save so much time, because dying is, you know, especially in a seed where you've got to cross the swamp cave every time to get out in the world, and it's a single path west out of the swamp cave, no less, through the desert.
Yeah, and what is hurting for up2ng right now is double fizzle on the Axe Knight, but does get to level 11, so let's have a peek scan at these stats. 4 power, 4 agility, 4 hit point, only 2 magic points. I kind of wish we had the quad.
Yeah, that's a pretty rare one there, honestly. MeleeWizard finds a Wyvern that knows Stop Spell, so, you know, punches it once, we'll probably punch it on the beak twice, and that'll be the end. Yeah, up2ng, I think, yeah, you're right, is committed to level 12 here. Just does not want to leave this tile behind. Maybe he thinks eventually he'll get some agility, because we're still at 37 at level 11.
Yeah, we're like a tank. We have a lot of power, but we're not moving fast.
I mean, look, the forward cannon is great. It does a lot of damage. Axe Knights also have Baby Breath, which is kind of bad. But we also have no armor, so I guess it doesn't really matter right now.
No, but even then, but with our HP at 87, you could tank 3 of them and be okay.
Heck, we could tank a DL2 breath at this point in time and still make it through in mostly scathed, but available to continue fighting.
And it looks like up2ng is going to tackle this Armor Knight again. And hopefully the fortunes will be different. And
his commitment to trying to stick this stop spell is actually hurting him an awful lot here. I guess you're trying to not get slept, but it looks like 25% sleep and at least a 10 out of 16 resistance, if not close to 15 on those Armored Knight.
Well, there's one way to find out. All we gotta do is just ask our wonderful tracker. Ooh, bam, right there. Hey, it's even worse. It is 25 sleep, but 12 out of 16 stops, but you are right about that. And only a 1 out of 16 hurt more dodge. So
just
it looks
let it fly.
Absolutely, let it fly. There's no gold grind available whatsoever. Actually, the only possible gold grind that can happen is No, there is no possible gold grind whatsoever.
MeleeWizard gets slept in 2 hit by this Armored Knight in the Swamp Cave, so of course that's going to be fun for making the walk to the other continent.
And as we learned from the chat, that this is one of up2ng's patented strategies when he sees something like this, is to just grind to your heart's content. And he's a couple of Axe Knights away from getting to level 12, which, if a Healmore pops in at level 12, then what you said before is correct, and he will just plow through the rest of the seed.
I mean, do you think he just stays here until he gets Healmore? That's a distinct possibility at this point. Just never leave this tile. Look, MeleeWizard, you are not running from an Armored Knight on these stats right now.
Well, let's find out if level 12 has Healmore, because up2ng just got there. 2 more power, 3 more agility, 5 more hit points, 1 more magic point, but no spell. So, what does up2ng do now?
Kill more Axe Knights.
Yeah, why not? Instead of the death tracker that we have for our players, we kind of need to do it instead for up2ng an Axe Knight death tracker. Because he's got to be up to around 50. And our strength's at 100 right now at level 12.
Yeah, we might not need the big stick here. This might be a go buy a broadsword and kill the Dragon Lord with it because you can. Our restreamer Lord of the Synth saying we should swag hand axe this one here.
That adds what, 12 or 14, I think?
It sure isn't 40. High Spirits wants to live the monk dream in chat. Just get 25 more strength and, just use your hands.
Be like Braun Strowman, that the Dragon Lord will get these hands. And the Axe Knight will send up2ng home. Now up2ng has got a decision to make. Now at level 12, 92 hit points. I think up2ng has gotta go. He's gotta take on the Armored Knight in Hawk's Nest and get that out of the way. Also,
he could just decide to take on the rest of the world. There's a great big world out there.
Also for up2ng, I think he just realized something. He never checked the bottom of the castle. So, as soon as that guard gets out of the way, I have a feeling he's going to check underneath, because maybe he thinks the sword is underneath there.
I mean, either way, now that the bloodlust is worn down, he can maybe explore a little bit too. Hang on, do Axe Knights have blood? This is an important question for science.
I'm the wrong person to ask about when it comes to blood.
Legitimate.
I do have a couple of friends who are into that sort of thing, so I'll just leave it at that. Meanwhile,
moving right along to maintain our commentary standards.
Meanwhile, up2ng is back in Hog's Nest. It looks like he is gonna try to go after that Armored Knight. Having 92 hit points, that should be good enough.
Alright, he's given up on trying to stop the sleep from happening. He's just going to catch the axe for 39 and throw a second hurt more and wrap this up in about 3 seconds.
That is the right play, and want to give everybody a follow. Give up2ng a follow, MeleeWizard a follow. Both of their race strategies have been really solid. Give them a follow. Also, give Demarine2 a follow. She deserves it. Give DarkRid12 a follow. They deserve it. Lord of the Sim a follow. They deserve it. Give me a follow, even though I don't deserve it. But if you want to get into Dragon Warrior Randomizer, we adore you. We would welcome you to download it at the link in the chat room. Also, check out our tournament bracket, where you can catch up with all of the action that has happened in the elimination rounds. And if you want to chat with fellow fans of Dragon Warrior Randomizer, maybe get into some races, or find out about Dragon Warrior Randos 2, 3, and 4, there's a link to our Discord which you could where you can click on, join our Discord, and chat with a bunch of us, merry band of marvelous folks.
Yeah, of note, of course, there are 64 runners who started this tournament. We are in the round of 32 right now, so this is the largest tournament that Dragon Warrior Randomizer has ever seen. So, maybe next time around you'll be the one who's sparring with Red Dragons and getting destroyed by Dragon Lord Breath out on the field, just like, well, MeleeWizard did with the Red Dragon.
Or like me during the early stages of the game. I was there, I got my one win, and that's all I was able to get. But up2ng now... Did up2ng go...
He's someplace other than Swamp Cave! He's found the greater world outside! I am far too excited about this.
The life of a recluse. Anyway, up2ng is now in Mountain Cave. And up2ng knows Mountain Cave all too well. He's going to go at dark.
MeleeWizard learns that sadly 94 strength is not enough to get a consistent hurt more and swing on the 99 possible health of a Armored Knight, so he gets shipped back home from the Swamp Cave.
And up2ng gets some gold, which is nice. And now it's just a matter of seeing what's in the bottom half, which is a new set of monsters. And there's some healing for up2ng. And these are two chests that are coming.
Look, another Axe Knight. I wonder what's going to happen.
Well, you know what's going to happen. up2ng is going to get to level 13. There's the agility. 1 power, 18 agility, 6 hit points, 3 magic points, and there is his heal more. It's happening.
At 101 strength, Spectres are heading for the hills and running for their life from up2ng right now. MeleeWizard really needs to stop finding Armored Knights in the Swamp Cave. He is just getting pushed back further and further here at this time by the Swamp Cave.
Yeah, meanwhile, if you take a look at up2ng's stats, aside from strength, everything else is orange except for attack power and defense power. up2ng, once he gets a weapon of note, up2ng is good to go.
Mountain Cave rolls blanks, so there's nothing here for our runners, but up2ng's got it done at this point in time. Finds a wizard and is going to, I guess show it Punch Wizard.
It's his inner monkitude.
Can't believe that we're in the middle of monk percent right now.
Well, I've heard of monks with high voices, so they could be in chip monkitude.
Please follow sigmafan just to make her stop, thank you. Please.
It was there.
You went for it.
Yep. Anyway, up2ng is a little bit lost in Mountain Cave, had to burn their torch, but has enough strength to punch out a rogue scorpion, but is going to be okay.
I'm just gonna punch pretty much everything at this point. MeleeWizard has punched his way to level 11 as a good MeleeWizard does. Still trailing in the experience category behind because of that big static grind from up2ng to start the seed. Both of our runners have the stones, both of our runners have the both of our runners have not yet found a town that is not named Hawk's Nest, and there's another cave just northeast of Sherlock.
And it's the grave.
Well, knowing Mountain Cave rolled blanks here as the commentators, I think that Mountain Cave is bad, and the grave might be fantastic.
Well, it depends. There's still a few chests out in the open world, like, Garanham has 3, and we haven't found Cole yet, and we haven't found Rimmildar yet, so, but up2ng might have found it.
Well, he's got Cantlin now here, so he's going to see what's in the shop. He's going to pick up a broadsword, probably going to kill the Dragon Lord with it if the opportunity arises. Finds a chainmail as well, and still has enough money for a large shield in his back pocket, certainly, so he should be feeling pretty good about this one. So broadsword, chainmail, no shield yet.
Tech power's at 121 already, so yeah, this could be a broadsword dealio.
MeleeWizard has found the Twin Cities out here. The first one going around Sherlock, he finds coal. So this is going to be a battle of the search spots here. Is it here, or is it at the Cantlin search spot?
It's at Cole.
It is at Cole. The coordinates, if they are here, will have the Flute of the Fairies, which of course is not what you're looking for at this point in time, but hey, it's alright.
What up2ng does not want to see is go and fight.
58 to the south, 51 to the west is the Flute of the Fairies.
So all search spots were in play. And it does look like that we're going to take a look at what's in this other town. And it's Breckenry. That is good for, you can grind the area. I saw a lot of Magiwyverns, you know, if it's near Sherlock, and it only costs 6 HP to heal. And not only that, there's items there too, and that is pretty important as well.
Yeah, MeleeWizard does add on the large shield there, so that's our large shield town at this point. Unlikely to see the silver shield without a gold grind here, even with the number of Axe Knights that up2ng has killed. And on up2ng's exploration finds the Rainbow Dropkick.
It's always good to have. Meanwhile, finds treks through this swamp and is gonna find a bunch of land with nothing on it.
The wide, untilled plains of the West.
And now up2ng fights the Twin Towns.
Yeah, so it looks like that it was both to the west, basically. MeleeWizard went around Charlock up and back to the west, while up2ng, I think, just struck out straight to the west and found Cantlin along the way as well. But of course, if he continues a little bit to the north, he will see another town that he's going to beeline. And in a moment here, he's gonna pick up a small shield here because, hey, it's better than nothing, but he is about to go and find his armor, so he's gonna have Erdrick's armor in just a hot moment here. If the guard gets off the search tile.
And now it's a matter of... Now MeleeWizard is going into the grave, but up2ng has a blue dragon they gotta worry about.
With 121 strength, it might be a little bit less. You're trapped with the blue dragon, a little bit more of the blue dragon is trapped in here with you.
MeleeWizard gets the chest, finds fairy water. All they need is the harp.
Oh wow, there's the big stick in the grave at the upper grave here. So he's got Erdrick's sword. He is incredibly strong at 138 attack power all of a sudden.
Looking at up2ng's stats, when up2ng finds Erdrick's sword, and we know he's got to go into the grave, because that's just a good play, because there's 5 chests in there, compared to the Garenham 3 and Rimmeldar 1.
I mean, and also he knows where it is, as opposed to not knowing where everything else is.
And up2ng knows where the Jerk Cave is, so it just makes sense to go. MeleeWizard is in the first below chest. Jess has got to slash up this wizard and will find what's in the chest. If it is the harp, he is out of there.
Yeah, then he is in hunt mode, trying to search down the harp cave and the jerk cave. We have not yet found the harp shrine at this point in time, so we cannot get the Staff of Rain as far as we know, but it is out there in the world someplace. Cannot believe the strength that these two runners have in this stat pool right now.
We're at 35 minutes, and this seed could go under an hour.
I mean, the way that up2ng is just running around, just deciding instead of, like, going and doing anything, but has decided to static grind the dragon population of Alefgard instead.
Level 14, 3 more power, 7 more agility, 5 more hit points, 2 more magic points. Spell is irrelevant.
MeleeWizard's going to pick up level 12 here, so still trailing by a solid 2 levels here. This level is not very exciting at 2, 3, 5, 1, but he is going to clear the grave out, assuming that there isn't like a red dragon here on the last floor that's going to destroy. And Grave's got the big stick topside, but that's it. That's everything.
The question is, has MeleeWizard gone into Mountain... No, he didn't go into Mountain Cave, so that could be a problem for MeleeWizard. Because he got into Mountain Cave and got blasted out, so... he might want to think about going back to Mountain Cave, even though we know nothing's there.
I mean, the big thing is he is out on the field pretty far. He's actually fairly far from Mountain Cave at this point in time. I know he's doubled back a little bit to get here to the grave because it's near Charlock Castle, which is near to Mountain Cave, but, you know, it's such a hard call here.
So we have 4 chests left. The 3 in Garenham and 1 in Rimeldar. We also have a swamp cave outstanding, but I think up2ng might have just found the Staff of Rain cave a little bit to the east of where he is right now.
I think the only other thing that could be right now is Erdrick's Tablet Cave, which is still outstanding as well.
And that's another chest, so there are 5 chests outstanding. One of them has to have the silver heart.
$140 attack power now for MeleeWizard here at level 12. I mean, with that much strength, you literally... the run command does not matter anymore. You can just, like, forget that it exists until Charlotte Castle. Just flourish your steel at anything and everything, whether it has legs or wings or weird eyeballs on the side of its head.
Oh, without a doubt. up2ng finds another cave. Is this... That's, there is Staff of Rain cave, so... He has to go into Garenham, Rimeldar, or Tablet in order to get the Silver Harp in order to trade it in.
Well, probably takes a second to mark it down on his map just to make sure he doesn't forget where it is, because, you know, runners occasionally do that, and it can end very poorly.
Yeah, I've seen people who don't remember where anything is or haven't found anything. It tends to lead to trouble. Like, I remember a couple of rounds ago that one of the better runners out there, Brysolf, spent the better part of 30 minutes not being able to find a certain cave, and got him booted from the Swiss. Because I sent him to 3 losses.
Yeah, it's a little tough out there. Sometimes Dragon Warrior Randomizer is really just a test of cartography. Time spent doubling back over things that you have already seen is lost time. I think it's as simple as that, right? If you are trekking through a place twice, it's probably okay. If you're trekking through a place 6 times, it's a lot less okay, unless you're getting a lot of experience while you do.
And up2ng finds Garenham. There is another... So this has to be Tablet.
Yeah, so this is a 4 chest check here for the harp. Finds the fighter's ring at least, so, you know, we needed that 2 more strength right now.
I think that just means that when up2ng finds the silver harp, that means he will not go into Mountain Cave to get the sword because he won't need it, because right now he's already swinging for 13 max against the Dragon Lord. And just finding another level is more than okay.
up2ng has no torch and realizes that he doesn't want to nav that in the dark, so grabs some herbs. He's going to grab a torch probably and light it up there, because their spell we're missing is Radiant. Hi, Spirits in chat, asking, what's a map? Well, a map is a thing that you do when you want to feel bad about forgetting that one little place on the map that you didn't go.
Also, it is the main weapon of choice for one of the best wrestlers of the Omski Federation of Professional Wrestling, Cartographer.
I don't know if you're pulling my leg or if that's actually real.
It's from Homestar Runner.
I guess that's real then.
It's got a killer theme song.
I bet.
Cartographer, making the map. Cartographer, taking note. Cartographer.
So, speaking of cartography, up2ng now needs to do no more cartography. He has found the Silver Harp at the bottom of the Tablet Cave in the back of Garenham. He knows where the Shrine Cave is for the Staff of Rain, and he knows where the Jerk is located, so he's going to do a little bit of backtracking here. He's going to make sure he doesn't die. And otherwise, he is in go mode.
And by the way, this town down there would be Rimeldar, but there is no need to go in there. MeleeWizard finds... Oh, that Swamp Cave.
Finds another
in a
armored
while.
knight. Finds another armored knight because what else would he find in Swamp Cave? Something friendly?
Maybe an Axe Knight?
He could have found like 30 of them if he really wanted to. On the flip side of the coin, up2ng living up to kind of the expectations of his seeding here as he is putting on a clinic at this moment. Massive early static grind, opens up a big lead, goes out on the map and basically explores the entirety of the second continent, station to station, town to town, moment to moment, takes 0 deaths, fully explores the mountain cave, fully explores the grave, finds all of the remaining pieces of go mode, caves, and items. Again, if you don't die, you can go very fast in this game.
Absolutely. And it looks like if I'm up2ng, he is going to find or remember where the jerk cave is, and then maybe grind to level 15, because that's all you pretty much need to do.
I mean, I guess the Axe Knight population just needs to get lower at this point. He does need to dive the grave for the sword, though. He does not yet have the sword, but at 126 attack power, he might just decide to say, look, I don't need it.
There could also be another good strength gain at 15. I mean, 4 strength to be at 8 and 15 would be enough.
So MeleeWizard is delving out the mountain cave. He came straight here after crossing the swamp cave. So he is going to find his 5 chests of nothing terribly exciting here. He's going to find them quickly though, which is good.
Yeah, if I'm up2ng, he never went to the store in Breckenridge, so you could probably find your large shield there, but he's decided against it. Just gonna get the jerk cave, going to get what he needs, and looks like maybe either dive Sharlock or go back into Swamp Cave and grind on more Axe Knights.
On the other hand, MeleeWizard's down here finding Axe Knights in the cave, at least. So in Mountain Cave, he is picking up a couple of Axe Knights here, so he's closing in pretty rapidly on level 13. The sword was in the top 3 chests of Garen's Grave, which is just to the northeast of Sharlock Castle. Honestly, up2ng is, like, right there.
But the Red Dragon said, you're going back.
Alright, he's no longer right there.
Or maybe this is what up2ng wanted, because it places him right back in territory with those Axe Knights.
God, those Axe Knights are gonna have horrible nightmares of up2ng here. MeleeWizard gets the 18 agility level here at 13, so he now at least can maybe consider running from things at 62 agility.
The problem with up2ng, he's got to go all the way north from here in order to get his Silver Heart.
Yeah, well, on the flip side of the coin here, up2ng did also just have an excellent move against a Wolf Lord with a broadsword for 126 damage. The next Wolf Lord he sees, of course, sprints away in the other direction, you know, like its life depended on it, because it probably did.
It's one of those things, and it looks like up2ng will not going for Axe Knights, probably just gonna grind to level 15 in the overworld and make a dive for Sharlock.
He potentially grinds level 15 in the grave here. He knows where it is. MeleeWizard's going to get stonewalled by this Red Dragon here, because he had not gotten to level 13 where Healmore is, but he at least takes it out, so a big 255 experience there. Running a gap of about 2,400 at the moment, so the gap has been slowly expanding after up2ng basically put 1,500 on the board instantly.
He does have Healmore. Now up2ng is going to the grave.
Well, in the grave, he is going to find hardened steel forged by an ancient technique lost to man from 40 years ago, apparently.
You mean the ability to make a car that doesn't break down every 3,000 miles?
I mean, he's just going to get Erdrick's Sword, which is just the ability to kill basically everything at this point.
Oh, that's good too.
Erdrick's Toothpick from High Spirits, because Erdrick was a giant of a man 25 feet tall and made of solid steel.
No, it's his toothpick because he has Erdrick was the first name. His last name, Ramon. Middle name, the full name, Erdrick Razor Ramon.
I did not yet catch if up2ng grabbed the big stick or not.
He did. And up2ng is just grinding to 15.
Alright, MeleeWizard comes across the drop cave here, so knows where the jerk is hiding.
One power, one speed, 15 hit points. Yeah, 15 is go.
Yeah, that's a lot of mana right there. 93 maximum MP. You do need to top off really quickly, but there's a town around here somewhere, I swear. At 147 attack power right now. How much MP does he have in the tank at the moment? He's diving right now on... He's diving on 75 MP. He's decided that he's not even topping off. 9 heal more should be more than enough.
What might be a problem is ye olde defense. Look at that 69. That is not nice. That means Dragon Lore could swing for 50, at max 55, 56?
I mean, he doesn't really need doubles. He's hitting for a pretty massive 11 to 23. So he's averaging 17 a swing. So 10 swings should take him well past 165, which is the maximum health of the Dragon Lord. So
Yep,
as long as...
and
Go ahead.
Yeah, and he just used a Radiant that is enough, that would still have him above 9. But one small thing, agility's not the best and the Armor Knights have sleep.
The Armor Knights also have axes. MeleeWizard busy topping off here in Brecconary, so just making sure he's got everything he needs. Looks like one of the very first viewings of a Star Wyvern, which up2ng doesn't want any part of, just takes off in the other direction as he continues his dive into the Castle of Sharlock here at 50 minutes and 45 seconds. Sub-hour is still on the table here.
Sub-hour seems really likely. And we're getting into the Diamond floor. And more Armored Knights, which is what up2ng does not want to see. Thankfully, he gets away. MeleeWizard on the outside, trying to find Garenham and Rimildar and all the other places.
Werewolf with the sleep ambush here, so I'm gonna start plinking him down with the baby breath 12 at a time, I guess.
Yeah, but up2ng manages to get away at 70. Is that 70 or 78 agility? It's 70 agility. 50 sleep, 75 fire. That isn't as bad as it ponders out to be because it is only baby breath. But up2ng is in almost at the U floor, and with the way these enemies are looking, is almost missing. That is the first green dragon we have seen, by the way, in this seed.
He could probably two-shot it if he really wanted to, but he doesn't feel the need at this point in time to, even consider wasting his breath on them.
The only problem I can see up2ng having is if that spike spot is a nasty red dragon.
I mean,
which could
throw a tiny wrench in the works here. I mean, it's gonna be getting a kill on 8 hurt more or an 8 heal mores here is viable. It's not out of the question with 147 attack power. He'll just need to roll average for 9 rolls, and 17 times 9 is 90 plus 63, 153. So we need to then. Okay, so now it does get a little bit spicy at that point in time. He might need to take a little bit of a risk to push out a double in a bad spot on his 118 hit points. 3 run blocks from the red dragon. There goes the heal more. Alright, well now the heal more is burnt. Now all of his safety is gone at this point in time. He needs to get all 8 of these heal mores to the Dragon Lord at this point, most likely.
The worst thing for up2ng would be to see a red dragon in that spike spot, as I purported. Wizards are gonna be a little bit of a ask, but shouldn't be that hard. And the spike spot is an armor knight. That's pretty bad.
That's a pretty free 3 swing. He gets a 51 there, so he's going to kill this on this swing right now. Not a big deal, honestly. You know, with his defense, he's going to get jarred a little bit here, but he's going to burn 2 herbs and take the hike onto the dais.
And that's exactly what he does. And yeah, this should be enough.
So, Johannes, just so you're aware, the agility is meaningless thing is purely a meme. Agility does matter. It does alter your percentage chance of running away. Two shots, Dragon Lord 1, because, you know, we got to get through this fast. We're in a hurry. Doesn't even get ambushed at 70 agility here, and first swing is right on the cap. It was a maximum 23.
And is able to get 2 off. This becomes free and clear.
Yeah, he gets without the opening ambush there and getting the 2 swings off. Now this is basically an assured 10 swings, which we have, you know, determined that it's pretty good.
Yeah, but what I'm not liking is those low 12. It's like he's gotten a couple of 12s, but that 20 helps out a lot.
Dragon Lord hits a maximum 52 right there, so ouch.
And up2ng hits for a minimum 12. Three more heal mores left. It should be doable. Okay, it's not dicey. That's 16. I think up2ng is going to get it in these next 2 turns.
He's going to get a double at the end anyway, just to be safe here, so now it's completely over. He actually gets to keep the last heal more as memento, and get your GGs out in chat to up2ng, a virtuoso performance of slaying Axe Knights for 20 minutes and then playing the game for 35.
It was a masterful performance by up2ng. He stuck to his game plan, he didn't deviate from it, and the amount of time that MeleeWizard would have spent grinding and spent exploring and hitting brick wall after brick wall, up2ng was grinding, and up2ng is gonna win. A sub-hour seed, a sub-57-minute seed, 56:08. That is one of the best runs we have seen in this whole tournament.
Absolutely. Of course, we've asked him for an interview, and he wants a couple of minutes. I'm sure that just after sprinting after that seed, he probably needs a drink and take a minute to breathe. But, you know, MeleeWizard's going to pick up his Staff of Rain here, so he knows where the Jerk Cave is. He is in go mode at this point. At 56 minutes here, he has a really solid time going here right now. You figure he hits up the Jerk, he Death Warps, he quickly hammers out 15, and MeleeWizard's looking at like a 110 here. Possibly faster.
absolutely. It was a great run, but it was just a matter of up2ng had a better run.
Yeah, again, up2ng just check that spike tile right off the bat in Marsh Cave with the early hurt more. And it ends up being the Axe Knights that you want, even though they had heal more, so sometimes you would just miserably fail. For the most part, you were just lighting them up and knocking them down, and he really showed off what you can do when you do not die out on the map.
Absolutely, and we'll be hearing from up2ng in a few minutes, actually. And Smashy is saying, I'm still trying to track the 830, and here's up2ng finishing the seed. It's like, good night.
Rainbow drop here for MeleeWizard. He's got everything he needs to finish at this point in time. Level 15 with the 15 hit points and extra MP would be nice. In theory, we could still finish it here at 104 or 104 strength and 103 hit points, but you know, it would be kind of close.
Well, the difference between up2ng and MeleeWizard is that the swings would be the same. We just have 15 less hit points, 1 less agility, but he does have 5 more defense points, which is... That means Dragon Lord will only be swinging for like 50... Well, probably won't be swinging for 50.
Yeah, I think the big thing here is that, yeah, he's gonna grind 15 right now off of these red dragons, which is just fine, honestly. You know, he's gonna have to burn a heal more here to kind of stand up to it, but, you know, plenty of mana in the back pocket here, so he should be feeling alright about this grind.
And Caitlyn on the side, and there is up2ng. GG, sir. That was a run for the ages.
What's going on, everybody? I think that was maybe the luckiest Charlock I've had all year. I had no business winning that. That was crazy. I mean, with that agility score, with the number of armored knights and red dragons I bumped into, like, I can't even believe I made it down there.
The mountain of the mountain of axe knights you left behind at 22 minutes begs to differ.
I wasn't sure the entire way if that was like if I did it right on that, because I looked shortly afterwards and I already had 100 strength and I was like, oh man, I probably went too far. But hey, I mean, it's so tempting to just stay with it, and I was having issues with the armored knight on the spike tile in Hawk's Nest, so just was like, alright, I guess I'm getting another level, and then we'll try again. So I don't know, that was weird. I felt the whole way that I really wasn't sure about this race. Just most of the things that happened were so unusual that I just wasn't sure if I was ahead or not. It was very strange.
Well, you had the XP lead all throughout. The problem was exploration, but then MeleeWizard just ran into a brick wall, and when you were just so far ahead, and you had HP, you had the MP, you had the power, it was just so far ahead that you were able to breeze through the rest. If I remember correctly, it only took you like 25 minutes. It took you 25 minutes to grind, and 25 minutes to get what you needed.
That's definitely the big advantage of doing a really long early grind, is especially, it was unfortunate for me that we didn't get Repel until something like level 14. But once I got Repel, it's just like I could just run all around the map and just get everything. And I didn't even have very good defense power because I was just not finding the equipment and stuff. I think I finished with a small shield. But yeah, if you level up a lot, it makes the rest of the seed easier. It's just, you know, how far behind are you? And I just kept feeling like, oh man, this is a jet seed. We're going to be able to finish on an early level. So, and maybe I went too far. And I was fully prepared to just go into Charlock and look for the sword in there, even though I hadn't found the grave. And just, it was so lucky that it was like within sight of Charlock. Otherwise, I was just going right in and I wouldn't have found it. And, you know, that's how far behind I felt. I felt like I just couldn't spend time looking for the grave. I had to go in and hope it was in Charlock. But, yeah. And then once I was in there, I felt like, well, there's a really good chance that he's been failing dives, because this is a really hard Charlock to get through on this agility score. So, you know, maybe if I get there on my first try and he's failing dives, you know, I don't know. It'll be fun to watch it back, because I really didn't feel good the entire way. It was very, very weird.
And you get to hear some bad jokes along the way, which is always good.
Nice. So MeleeWizard, he just didn't he didn't do a very long grind in the beginning, so he was probably taking overworld deaths and stuff.
He never checked, and every time it was either I caught an armored knight in the cave and just didn't double hurt more it, or I caught a red dragon just south of Charlotte there in the thin passageway to basically the game, and got sent home a fair few times from there, and it definitely put him behind while you were just racking up an experience lead.
Yeah, honestly, anytime you have a map where you have to go north to south through the swamp cave in order to get to the rest of the map, and then you're like trying to explore, you know, the whole world is on the other side and you're trying to explore. Every time you take a death in that situation, it's so costly. So, I mean, I can imagine if he was just running into the wrong enemies and didn't have the levels, like it just takes so long to get back to where you just were in that situation. But so I guess it worked out in my favor. I was just worried the whole time that it wasn't the right thing to do. Like you said, exploration was really delayed. I really wanted to make sure that I defeated the Hawksnest enemy as soon as possible in case the armor was there, and I just had to keep getting levels until it was reasonable. It was weird because the first armored knight I saw cast sleep on me instantly, so I just kept feeling like I should try stop spell, or he would like ambush me, and then, you know, I felt like my best chance was to stop spell him and hope that he cast sleep so I can get 2 turns off, things like that. And then it turned out like later on I had, you know, tried so many times that eventually I was like, you know what, it's probably only 25% sleep, which is weird because the first turn that I saw was sleep, so usually that's like a good indicator that it might do it a lot, but nope, not this time. It was only 25%, so yeah, so eventually I just went in there and did a double hurt more, and that was it.
Yeah, MeleeWizard had done the double hurt more already, actually beat you to the token and beat you to the armor, but again, even though he was beating you to the major points out there on the map, since you were just not dying, right? You were just going again town to town, checkpoint to checkpoint, just checking off the boxes on the map as you went along with your, you know, level 14 basically ready to go stats. So, you know, your grind I know is minimal, which ended up being a really good showing. But MeleeWizard's down here on the Dragon Lord's well-lit bottom floor where the Ball of Light lies at an hour and 4:53, which again against most runners.
The same level? Is he on the same level that I won at? Because it was pretty tough to get down there.
He did choose to top up his MP though, so he actually has a full raft of a dozen heal mores in his back pocket, so he could burn 2 and still be A-okay here.
Excellent.
Yeah, and just talking about your next match, it is set up that you will be racing against Smashy, and that is going to be a fantastic race. Talk about that for a second, because we know we've seen you two race before.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that a lot. Smashy and I feel like we started at a similar time frame. He may have like joined just slightly after me or something, and then I watched him, you know, basically pass me by on the SRL rankings and become one of the very top runners. And you know, we end up in casual races all the time. We've done some commentary together and stuff. So yeah, he's a great guy, and he's having a good tournament. And I know that you know, he was disappointed with his last tournament, so I'm sure he'll be at his best. That's going to be a very hard matchup. He's probably a top 5 runner in this game, so yeah, I'm going to have to probably take a few risks in order to come out on top on that one, so we'll see.
Yeah, likely to be another big classic matchup here for sure. It'll be real exciting. So we've got MeleeWizard here, going to try and herb and catch a little bit of break on DL1 here. But he is here, and he is all set to go with his 147 strength. I don't think I've seen 147 strength all tournament, it feels like.
No, it's been a while, but unfortunately,
I was trying to look ahead on the brackets too, and it looked like the winner of Smashy and I would end up going into the same next round as Nest Cardinality if he makes it that far. So it just gets tougher and tougher in the brackets, obviously, as it should, I suppose.
Round 32, there are absolutely no easy outs left at this point in time. You play your best or you get chipped out, pretty much.
I'm glad MeleeWizard's having a good race, and looks like he's got a good shot to wrap it up here.
Yeah, barring anything weird, he should wrap it up sub 110. With MeleeWizard, he ran a good race. It's just that you just ran it a bit better.
Yeah, there's always it's one of the difficult things when you're running a seed, because they're all so different, is the balance between when should I explore and when should I grind, especially towards the beginning of a seed. And there's really no right answer because every seed is different, and sometimes the choice you make ends up just being wrong. So, I mean, in this case, I think, it was just to my advantage, and he just had a tougher time because of the lack of grinding, but it could have easily gone the other way. So it's not even necessarily that he made the wrong decision. It was just, what do you call it, like with map RNG, it's like, some other kind of RNG. Like, you just decide not to grind as long, and
yeah, it's not to say that he didn't grind. Is the Dragon Lord goes down with a pair of heal mores backed up to the line, so he is going to get through without a single concern here. So get your GGs out in chat for MeleeWizard. Again, running it. I mean, sub 110 on a seed like this is really solid. Like, again, I think you got to give it up to MeleeWizard for finishing the seed. And again, putting a real good time on the board here. A time that would have definitely pushed a lot of runners to the edge. But I don't know, up2ng, you've been playing really well lately.
Oh, I appreciate it. I'm happy with how the Swiss rounds went. So it just, the more matches you get under your belt, it just, for me, it's been helpful. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how I'm playing. It's just that, the upcoming runners are so good, so it's definitely going to be a big challenge. But looking forward to it. Yeah, MeleeWizard sounds like he's going to join us. That's awesome.
Sounds good to me. It looks like,
from him.
Yeah, and here he is now.
Oh, what those stupid red dragons, I swear.
GG, man.
So, I got severely bottlenecked by the stupid red dragons near Sharlock. How bad was it for you?
I had a couple of issues with red dragons in a couple different spots in the overworld, but I was really over leveled, so I kind of just suffered through it and didn't get sent home too many times. I don't know, they'll probably let you know, but I found an Axe Knight on the swamp spike tile and just stayed there like forever. So that's how I dealt with it. I don't know, it worked out in this case.
I never even checked it. It took me so long just to get past Sharlock, because every time I got near there, a red dragon would send me home.
Yeah, there were some hills over there too. It's like a high encounter rate. There was another spot like that up near, there were two towns.
Yeah, it was Cole and Brick.
Yeah, and I kept trying to go like further west from there, and like there were hills there, and there were just red dragons every step. There was a blue dragon, and then there would be a red dragon. I was like, oh my gosh. So then I would get 2 steps away from town, and then I would have to like turn around and go back to the inn. So, I don't know.
I didn't see the blue dragons, but I did see the red dragons, the Axe Knights, and the Arbor Knights. And I think it was when I was hit like 12 or something. It was when I got out of Mountain Cave, I think it was, head towards Cantlin, and I must have just gotten Healmore at that point. Came across the red dragon. I actually killed 3 red dragons in a row on the way back to Cantlin.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm glad you got through Sharlock on that run. When I got through there, I really felt like I was very lucky to get to the bottom, because we had only like 70 agility or something, and
yeah,
I ran into a lot of armored knights and red dragons, so...
I saw armored knights, but I didn't see red dragons until the bottom floor. And I wasn't really concerned about my agility, because we all know the kind of reputation the agility stat has. But I was more worried about my defense on the Dragon Lord fight, because I can't do that kind of math in my head about how hard he can hit based off what defense you have.
Yeah, I'm guessing you had better defense than me, but...
What level were you?
Well, I think we probably had the same level, but I finished with a small shield. I just stopped looking for stuff.
I did find a large, but that was before I got the armor. Well, actually, no. I think it was. Wait, wasn't the large shield in coal or something?
Reckonry had the large shield, and the one, I think the one shop in Cantland, I'm just guessing, would have had a large shield as well.
Well, there's no guarantee. So there have been seeds where the silver shield wasn't even for sale anywhere.
Yeah, I saw a couple of silver shields. Of course, we had no money, so.
Yeah, there was no grind. There was no guide. So once I got Edric's armor and the large shield, I didn't even check any of the shops in Cantland. I already had Edric's armor and large shield. I knew I wasn't getting any better than that. And I think one thing that probably set me back was I did one last red dragon grind to get up to, I think it was 15, because I was more I was concerned about my defense, but I wasn't too keen on the magic points that I had at the time. I think it would have been like 70 something, and that seemed kind of iffy to me.
I was in a similar boat. I had grinded a lot of levels early, so it just, by the end, I was just really close to 15, so I just fought a couple of enemies just to make sure I got it, but.
Yeah, you're only about 500 out.
Yeah, I felt like we could always use more agility at that point and that kind of thing. So, but yeah, 15 was go time. We got some HP, which meant that it was a little bit more wiggle room with the Dragon Lord. Like I got hit for 51 and then 50 back to back. So if we had borderline HP, that would have been a problem. But.
I think the highest I saw was 49, but yeah, the fact that it was above 48 was worrisome enough. Thankfully, I was never at I think the highest hit points I ended up heal-mooring at was like 44, 45. So there was no borderline cases that I had to agonize over.
Yeah, I'm just glad we both were able to get through that Charlock. So, GG, good job in this whole tournament. By the way, had a pretty good run, and I'm sure we'll see you on commentary and that sort of thing. So
yeah, it's just a shame that I had to go up against you and the person that you're up against next time. So
I don't understand how that even happened. Like this is the second week in a row that we faced off, but oh well.
And bear in mind, if I had beaten you, I would have went up against Smashy, who I lost to week 1.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So yeah, that seems to be the case, because I remember in the Z2 tournament, I seem to have a thing with running into lightning often. So,
yikes. So any final thoughts on this seed?
It felt cathartic once I started killing red dragons.
Yes, it's like always a great, revenge factor there.
Especially when I killed like 3 of them within 5 steps of each other on somewhat limited resources too. So yeah.
Yeah, thanks to you guys for the commentary and the restream. It's I think we had a kind of a packed schedule tonight, so glad we got the coverage. Appreciate it, as always. Looking forward to watching it back.
Yep.
You should watch it back. It was a great one.
It was definitely a very entertaining run for sure when all of is said and done. Speaking of a packed schedule, we do have one more race coming up tonight. We'll be back, I believe, here on RPG Limit Break, but I would need confirmation of that at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Pacific. We have Rye Guy 3745 taking on J-Man 1865 in their round 1 match here. And then we have one match scheduled for tomorrow at 9 p.m. Channel to be determined. We have Jackamus Wedge and JJ Smith taking each other on. 2 of the old schoolers of the tournament seeded 1 and 32. So we'll see what they can do tomorrow, too.
Yeah, just confirming Rye Guy and J-Man is right here on RPG Limit Break.
That is good news. So, so we're going to go, looks like we're going to go offline for a bit, and then we will be back at 8 o'clock. So in about 40 minutes, so get yourself something to eat, then come back here for some more Dragon Warrior Randomizer goodness with some new people in the booth. And that is going to do it for us. So go get yourself something to eat, get a drink of water, and come right back in 40 minutes for some great Dragon Warrior Randomizer action For Dark Grid 12 doing the tracking, Lord of the Sim for the restreaming, up2ng, MeleeWizard, great race, up2ng, see you in the next round. For my wonderful co-commentator, Demarine 2, this is sigmafan saying good night. Good night.